Hi there. Really good to be back with you again. So this video is going to continue on the sixth clip, which was looking at the four domains, the four aspects of our life, the four empires of what makes us human, where we talked about the different ways in which we can look at our well-being. And today I want to actually start with the fourth one, because I do think it is extremely important at the moment, and that is spiritual energy and how we go about replenishing, restoring, and keeping topped up in our spiritual health. Now, I know that there will be people who perhaps don't have spiritual faith, and I also know that famously, quite a long time ago now, Alastair Campbell made the comment that here in the UK, especially as politicians, we don't do God. But I really do think that things have changed. And in my experience as a coach, I find that people are eager and willing and engaged in talking about different aspects of faith, whatever faith background they come from. And even if they don't have a conventional faith outlook, they really appreciate exploring and talking about faith that they might have in family, or faith that they might have in trust, or some aspect of life where they're actually extending the concept of faith in something. So there are two things that we can do to really think about how we actually keep that bucket of spiritual energy topped up, what we can do to replenish it and to water it. The first one is to just start by thinking about what activities you can do now, even in limited circumstances where you perhaps can't engage in your normal routine, but what it is that you can do that engages with the spiritual or soulful side of who you are as a person. What are the activities that you can do that actually answer the deeper questions of life? And think particularly about focusing on those ones that give you a sense of refreshing, that are generative to you, and that are energizing for you. And I think then you could possibly just think about how faith and how your own faith practice is supporting you at this time. And is there anything that you're doing that you can share with somebody else? Can you encourage somebody else to join with you, even in a digital way, in a remote way, via Zoom or via a call, in that spiritual practice, and in that way you can encourage them. Then the second thing is to identify how your higher values, of the core values that you hold, how those relate to spiritual faith, and what you can do to build on them, particularly when you use your values to help and support others. So I think there are a number of things that you can think of. You can think particularly at this time of how you might be showing additional compassion to somebody that you know is really struggling by simply sending them a text message. You might be thinking about how the language that you use with someone that you worked with, who perhaps previously was annoying you or irritating you, just seems so much less of an issue now when we are faced with far greater challenges and concerns. And in particular, you might think about repairing a difficult relationship. Is there something that comes from the well, comes from the resource of your spiritual or beliefs, the domain of your life where your beliefs lie, that would actually help you and prompt you to restore or rebuild perhaps a relationship that might have been damaged, because you may be feeling, particularly at this time, that that's something that you want to do. And I just want to leave you with this thought, the third thing: take time to look for and to cultivate deeper conversations. Come back to the original thought at the beginning. And I think it's a fallacy to say that in the UK people don't do God. I think people actually really enjoy compassionate and positive and generative conversations about faith. And my experience, wherever I am, even if it's a Zoom call, and a couple of weeks ago when we were still able to perhaps bump into people sort of across the street, was that everywhere around me, everybody I met was actually looking for, seeking out, and wanting to open up deeper and more meaningful conversations. So I want to encourage you to see where you can look for those, how your conversations about faith and spirituality can be an encouragement to you and to those around you. Thanks so much.